Good evening, everyone. So, it is wonderful to see such an enthusiastic audience joining us today for this exciting webinar, Mastering AI 42001, a step by step guide to implementation. This is Khushi Malhotra, Operations Manager at the Ministry of Security team, and I'm delighted to welcome you all to this knowledge packed session. So, today we have the privilege of learning from an exceptional industry leader, Sanjeev Pandey sir. With over 25 years of experience, Sanjeev sir has dedicated his career to driving operational excellence across critical business functions. Sanjeev sir is a certified lead auditor for ISO 27001, ISO 42001, 9001, and many more. His expertise in addressing organizational gaps and implementing solution promises a practical and insightful session. So, throughout this session, feel free to share your questions or thoughts in the comment section and feel free to drop your comments in the comment section and let's make this interactive and enriching experience for everyone. So, without further delay, let's get started. So, Sanjeev sir, the stage is all yours.
Thank you, Kushi. Thanks a lot for wonderful introduction on this particular point. It's a great, and let me start with my background so that everyone would be aware of. I am a certified lead auditor for 27,001, 27,701. I am also CISA certified. I am also for 22,001 and multiple other. The agenda today is more towards ISO 42001, which is artificial intelligence management system. We will come on this particular topic soon, mentioning what all various expectation is and what all various industry challenges we are facing as of today. The approach would be towards a more fun and practical approach. We will be talking about few of the points because in short span of time we may not cover everything as such all the challenges what we are facing from security point of view, from artificial intelligence perspective. There are certain geopolitical challenges also in this particular area. So we will see the high level understanding of this particular standard. Okay. What we will talk about is that who are we? I mean, we as an intercert, we are globally recognized certification body, training body, and multiple other things. What we do, I will talk about that as well. Then we will also discuss about the introduction to artificial intelligence. Then we will talk about what is ISO 42001, understanding AI bias and ethics in decision making, because this is one of the biggest challenge probably you all also would be facing nowadays, because your decision, if you are dependent upon the artificial intelligence whether knowingly or unknowingly, your decisions are being influenced by some way or other, either by algorithm or by any other machine learning mechanism, whatever we can call about it. Then we will also go for short exercise, two exercises, so that in this particular area we can talk more, we can understand more, and then implement and understand the challenges what we are going to be facing over a period of time. So who are we? Intercert is multinational organization headquartered in the Woodland, Texas, and we have presence all across the world. Our specialized services are GRC solution, governance, risk and compliance solution from industry perspective. And this is one of the biggest area of concern nowadays, especially considering multiple factors related to people, related to technology, related to multiple factor, I would say, even geopolitical situation as well. Second is our management system certification that we certify multiple organizations for information security management system for SOC, service organization controls. We also certify for artificial intelligence management system, then privacy management system, then business continuity management system, the service management system, multiple certifications. The list is available on our website as well. Third is we provide the management system and advanced professional trainings in these areas, So if anyone would like to acquire more information and more details related to any of these systems and standards, we can definitely be. That is one of our services. Security assessment and testing services. We do the security assessment and testing services also. It can be like vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, depending upon the kind of application and situation what you have. That is the important parameter. This is also one of our services. That is security assessment and testing services. Accreditation. We have accreditation from PCI QSA, Qualified Security Assessor for PCI DSS. Most of you probably would be aware of that this is more required from banking perspective. Second, we have accreditation from AICPA, American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, that is called the SOC 2 attestations. In SOC 2 attestation, it is more from a federal agency point of view that anyone who is working with the federal agencies, they require this compliance in more detail. Then we also provide services from a NIST framework, and we have also accreditation from Asia Pacific Accreditation Cooperation Recognition. So all these this our GRC accreditation. That means the government's risk and compliance accreditation. What we have. We have management system certification. Some of you probably would be aware of that management system certifications required accreditation from international bodies. So we have accreditation from SEC accredited, SEC, Standard Council of Canada, UF, United Accreditation Foundation certified, IAF, International Accreditation Forum member, and CNCA, that approved management system certification body. So we have all these accreditations like SCC, Standard Council of Canada, United Accreditation Foundation certified from US perspective, International Accreditation Forum member, Asia Pacific Accreditation Cooperation Recognitions, Qualified Security Assessor for PSI DSS, American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, SOC 2 attestation. SOC 2 and SOC 1, both we do at our end. Cloud Security Alliance start certifications. It is especially for cloud security perspective. And cyber security assurance badge holder. So we have these accreditation. Security assessment and testing. These services are towards Cloud Security Alliance STAR certification, CyberApp RPO, and we provide training. Our trainings are accredited from Exemplar Global, accredited training provider in all these areas. Most of the our client, you can see it over here that Fiabla, Sopra. So I'm not reading HP, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, and other thing. So there are multiple organization what we have. Now coming to the topic, introduction to artificial intelligence. So have you ever wondered why Netflix is so popular and how it always seems to know exactly what you want to watch next? The important point for us to understand that they are keeping all your record what you are seeing, even the kids what they are seeing, even the elders what they are seeing. That is a very, very important, and that data is basically being analyzed and some algorithm is being developed in order to understand what you are looking for. Not even that, at what particular time zone what you are looking for. At particular time zone, that is also important. This Netflix is something which is just for example which is being shared. It is nothing to do with not only Netflix but even all other organizations like Google, Facebook, everyone. Right? So when we do something and we try to capture these data, that is at mass level, at thousands and thousands of people, millions of people, maybe billions of people, that is something which become a parameter. And algorithm, we will talk about that also. Algorithm can be tailored to suit certain perspective, to suit certain particular aspect of your mind. That is what it is. And not only that, but even probably you all would have heard that you can be influenced to buy, you can be influenced to vote, you can be influenced, and all these things that can be done by simply manipulating little bit of algorithm, I would say. Not only algorithm, but even other, there are multiple other technological factors, I would say. But just from explanation purposes, I am mentioning this particular point that just by changing few things, you can change the opinion of masses. That is how the artificial intelligence is going to be. Um, I won't say dangerous, but definitely I would say that it is going to be affecting masses at large, masses at large, because your opinion matters, and your opinion can be biased. That is what. A few days back, we saw that one of the company CEO, he said that his voice was also altered to tell their finance CFO that okay, make this payment to this organization. This is a danger what we are facing as of now, as of today. Okay, so here it is that probably you would not be wondering that when you see in your Google, in your Facebook, in your Netflix, in your any other, not even that, but even in your mail also, that this particular ideology, if you start searching, it will start giving you that particular ideology from now onwards. So there would be polarization into the society. That's what another challenge, probably, I would say that artificial intelligence and these large masses database that are going to be putting across for us as well as for the next generation. So this is what, and in order to cater to that particular need and that particular requirement, we have to have some kind of a governance model. There are certain countries, they are not encouraging the artificial intelligence because of various reasons. That is also not correct, because technology cannot be stopped, it can be used. It will be used in some form or other, whether it is a governed or it is not a governed. That is also a point, but it will have to be used. So in that case, this artificial intelligence management system that came into picture, saying that the artificial intelligence management system, you need to be considering these factors. You need to do the risk assessment. You need to consider the ethical part. You need to consider the social part. You need to consider the technological part. Even one person who is managing the algorithm, if he or she is biased, that entire algorithm can give the opposite result. One of the example in one of my training which I have been taking it, that let's say that you are searching for some medicine for fever, and it can be all altered to suit that okay, this particular medicine works, whether it is a fever or it is a pain or even it is anything, that can be changed in background in order to promote certain trade practices. So this requires control. This requires very much control, at whether it is at law enforcement level, or it requires a control at organization ethical level, or it requires a control on financial level, something that requires a control. That's where the artificial intelligence is going to be very, very important aspect. Probably we all have been seeing that some of the election, they are also being altered. They are also being altered just because you are pushing too much of information based on the data that what particular person interest is all about, and accordingly you start pushing that particular information. So this AI management system, artificial intelligence management system, we will talk about all these things, that how it intends to control by using some of the example related to ethics for now. For further detailing like technology factors and process factors, security factors, risk factors, they will you can go into the more detail as you are interested. Artificial intelligence is the field of computer science that focuses on developing systems that can perform tasks requiring human-like intelligence. Right. So anything, this is also very important, human-like intelligence. For example, there is a front desk. You are removing the front desk and telling the computer to perform certain tasks. But the computer can perform the task of the help desk. Or you are telling that okay, change the language from English to Hindi, or from English to Spanish, or from English to Japanese or German. You can change it. That all those things related to artificial. So they are doing what? They are basically doing whatever you can do, or whatever someone else can do for you. Earlier, what we used to do is that we were using someone else services in order to uh, fulfill the need what we are looking for. For example, there used to be a lot of people who were translator. Nowadays, all these things probably you can see that can be done online as well. Google also provide a lot of services into these areas, right? Some of the meaning, if you want, let's say that some of the word meaning, and probably you would have seen that one as well, that meaning of certain word, if that can be altered, it can give entirely different perspective of the sentence, and that is a challenging situation. So artificial intelligence is the field of computer science that focuses on developing systems that can perform tasks requiring human-like intelligence. So whatever someone else is doing, whatever I am doing, whatever you are doing, if that can be programmed adequately using some algorithm or data or anything, and it can act based on your request as and when the situation is coming out to be, it can give you the result, and that is what is the artificial intelligence, right? A lot of watchword are coming nowadays. Probably you can see that everyone is doing the same thing. They all are developing. Someone is trying to replace someone, right? And it can be done as well by using the technology. There is no challenge as such. We are into the technology domain or technology age now. But in that case, that it requires to be governed. That is what it is all about. So for now, we can go with this definition as such. For now, I would say there are multiple more other things. That human-like intelligence. If you are developing any program which acts as the human-like intelligence and give you certain output, that is called the artificial intelligence for now. Right? Earlier, that used to be done by someone. That is what it is. Okay. So benefits of artificial intelligence. Now, as I mentioned earlier, that there are countries who are discouraging the artificial intelligence. There are certain areas who are very particular about that. But there are a lot of benefits of the artificial intelligence, and that's the reason probably we have no choice to block it. But then we have to use it. But how we are using it, that may require some kind of a governance, either through law enforcement agencies or through ethical practices within the nation or country or location or geography. This is what it is. So the benefits of the artificial intelligence is that automation of repetitive tasks. So anything which you are doing day and day. For example, there is one receptionist on reception. They are doing day on day, or there are thousands of people who are interested into converting either Hindi to English or from English to Hindi, right? That's a repetitive task. One can do it, right? So those kind of automation of repetitive tasks that can be done. Even robotics also, that is a repetitive task. You are welding, that can also be done. The robots, even nowadays, probably you may have heard that a lot of doctors, they are using the robotic processes, right? Okay. So that is related to automation of repetitive task. You can do the repetition of the task. Then enhance decision making. You can enhance the decision making. There are banks, there are approaches which you require. What should I do? How should I do? Some probably you have seen that some of the law legal bodies, they search for what is the solution for it, right? But that is not something which we can say that key enhanced decision making. It only facilitates for now, but eventually there may be a scenario when it takes the decision also for you, and that would be a more challenging situation for governance of governance of the situation. So it is going to be helping you, and this is the benefit, that enhanced decision making. It can help you if you are in such a certain situation. For example, if you want that, where should I go for summer vacation or winter vacation, right? So it can help you also, that enhanced decision making, depending upon the parameter and situation what you have. Then there is, of course, the cost efficiency, because once you are able to eliminate the resources and put it onto the machine, put it on the system, then definitely there would be cost efficiency, because you don't need a lot of people. That is another advantage as well as disadvantage, I would say. So benefit of artificial intelligence is the cost efficiency, because you have to program once and it can be used. It can be used for several, as long as the business viability consists. Personalization, that is AI tailors experience products and services to individual needs. It enhances customers. There are certain, for example, there are certain specialized doctors who are, let's say that they are into a particular area ortho, or they are in medicine. So that can be personalized, because that data requires different data is required depending upon the specialization of that particular situation or scenario. In banking, there are people who are uh, who are mm, into finance, their investment area. There are certain who is into credit and loan area. There are people who are into a transactional area. So that is called the personalization. That can be personalized. So it can be developed and personalized as per the need of the organization and the individual as well. Then there is an improved accuracy. AI system reduces human error and ensures higher precision in diagnostic and data entry tasks. That is the Google Translate face recognition. Accuracy is no doubt. I mean, that's something which we can say that if we do something manual, there is always a human error is there. We can't deny that fact. Whether while being into the quality for a very long time, I know that it is you cannot avoid it. There can be certain situation where the personal errors can occur in any organization. Personal error can occur in any organization. So that's where we have to see that this artificial intelligence, if we are able to use it, that would definitely improve the accuracy. That would definitely improve the accuracy of that system. That is the benefit of artificial intelligence. So, except the cost efficiency part, where there are certain debates which are going on whether it is really a worth from industrial perspective or it is not something which we need to cater to. Okay. Application of artificial intelligence, that is the computer vision. It enables machines to interpret and process visual information from the world. Self-driving cars, facial recognition. There are a lot of colleges in India. In fact, one of my college is also, they are going for the self-driving cars. That is again a application of the artificial intelligence that can be used, that can understand that how the traffic conditions are, who are there in front of you, when should I take the left turn or right turn, or when should I brake, or when should I proceed further. That is the computer vision. That is the vision, probably we can say. Then there is a robotics. That means integration of AI in machines to perform tasks autonomously. You can robots are very popular nowadays. So you can put nowadays, you can see that even they can take order from you and they can deliver what you want. That is again a program, and it is being used into the robotics. Natural language processing, I mentioned it earlier as well, that if you want to convert, enhances interaction between the computers and human through languages. If you want, you are going for in some other country and you don't know that particular language, then there are certain applications, AI applications, which can help you to communicate also and understand their view as well. That's what it is. So natural language processing, that can also be done, but then do remember that there is always a risk associated with ethics, that if you want or the programmer wants, they can change the algorithm. They can change the algorithm to a dangerous level so that it can be misused and misinterpreted as well. Then machine learning algorithm that allow computers to learn from and make predictions based on the data. There are certain aspects like machine learning. Those who are into mathematical and statistical area probably wouldn't know that there are certain regression, correlations, uh, models which are available, and multiple other models which are available, which can be uh, used, learn from, make predictions based on the data. Possibility is like share market. They are using as well. Finance people, they are using these regression models, correlations, and other things for a very long time. But you can predict it, and that's where the challenge again here into the machine learning as well. That there are challenges that the algorithm can be altered in order to in order to meet certain perspective of the people. So that is what is the application of artificial intelligence. That is the computer vision, robotics, natural language processing, and machine learning. Now, what is ISO 14001? Now, by now, probably you would have seen that artificial intelligence is unavoidable situation. We have to live with it. There is no possibility, I would say, that to block it, or this technological aspect, neither we can block it nor we have to use it, because there are benefits are more than its drawbacks. But however, drawbacks requires some kind of a governance structure around within these organizations so that it can be reduced. Probably elimination will be not the right word, but it can be said that it can be reduced. And this is where the ISO 42001, that was the first standard which came into scenario, that they came up with the AIMS, that is Artificial Intelligence Management System. It talks about there are multiple clauses associated with it. As I said, that planning, development, there are around 11 controls which niche organization needs to adopt. That is what risk assessment that needs to be carried out. Even the impact assessment that is also as per the standard requirements. So this is nothing but a governance model which organization must adopt. This is a very good governance model detailing out that how the artificial intelligence should do it. And then that requires further certification like any other certification like 27001. So you can get it validated and verified based on this one. So ISO 42001 is the world's first international artificial intelligence management system standard. This is a standard, and it provides a framework for organization to establish, implement, maintain, and continually improve an AIMS to ensure the responsible development and use of technology. Do remember the point that responsible development and use of technology, not something which we call it irresponsible. So responsible development, and responsibility development means it should be complying to the need of the people, it should be ethical, it should be legally abiding as per the law of the land, that should be legally complying to, and it should not be biased in order to maintain or in order to promote that whatever solution they are coming up. And this AIMS, that is the 42001 artificial intelligence management system, that says that you put across these practices in your organization, get yourself benchmarked by the third party, then probably you are reducing the risk related to that. And that is the reason that a lot of organization now they are opting for this standard, because ultimate responsibility lies with the head of the organization, and they have to make sure if something goes wrong, in that case they will have to be held responsible for. So they want to put it into their organization that I am putting my system into place, adequate system into place, so that there is adequate visibility into the progress. We are among the first organization to provide an accredited ISO 42001 lead auditor training program since this standard was introduced in 2023. So we are not only providing the training, but even we have needed accreditation in order to certify any organization. So that is ISO 42001. By now, probably you would have understood that 42001. This is like any other ISO certification, but only specifically focuses on artificial intelligence part. Understanding AI bias and ethics in decision making. Now, let's take this example. There are multiple other requirements also as per standard like planning, like 11 controls, risk assessment, impact assessment, that what would be the impact on social, technological, behavioral, and other impacts. So there are certain things that is called. So understanding AI bias and ethics. As I mentioned earlier, that it can be biased, we can change, we can alter. As a technology person, I can say that we can alter your opinion if you are too much depending upon or too much giving time onto the social media platforms, social platforms. And we can collect your data, we can collect your data, and we can tell you that okay, this is not what you are thinking is correct, but rather something else is correct, and you can be biased. So this is what here it is, that definition concept, that definition. AI bias, AI bias occurs when AI system make decisions that are unfair or biased. For example, as I said that without taking name of any medicine, let's say that I have come up with a medical AI system, and if I am asking it that okay, what is the medicine for fever, it will give only one medicine which wants to promote. That is what is the bias. That's called the bias. Then ethics, AI ethics ensure AI system are used fairly, transparently, and responsibility. Fairly. This is what is going to be the requirement of 42001, that whatever ethics organization have adopted, that should be fairly, transparently, and responsibly. So if the organization are adopting certain algorithm, that algorithm should be fair, should be transparent, and should be responsible also. That lies with the organization. That is the concept. That is called the definition. You can see the example also mentioned over here, that imagine an AI system that helps hire people for jobs. If the system is trained mostly on data from men, it might unfairly favor men over women, even though both are equally qualified for the job. And it is the vice versa also. So we can change the algorithm in order to suit what we need. And that's what is the biggest challenge over here. AI ethics, the example would be that think of an AI system used to approve loans. AI ethics would ensure that the system doesn't unfairly deny loans based on the race or gender, and that the processes is transparent so people understand why they were approved or denied. That kind of a things. Otherwise, what will happen? There are certain profession which they say that no, I won't give loan. That automatically, I mean, it will get rejected right at the first step itself. That is also not correct. So that is what is the AI bias and ethics. Another area of the AI bias is that you are using Facebook and you are searching for certain political party. It will start giving you the favorable result of that particular party all along. That is also a challenge in Google. If you see that, okay, if you see some something of one particular faith, then it will start giving you the result from tomorrow onwards for that particular faith. And then the news, if you see that news, it will start giving you the news from tomorrow onwards onto the situation what it is. So in that case, we need to see that this ethics bias and ethics that are adequately taken care of. Now, ethical concerns, data privacy and security. This is another ethical, and you would have seen that Government of India have also adopted the Data Protection Act, though there are certain guidelines which are still awaited. So there is a data privacy and security. Your data is being taken, whether with your consent or without your consent, that requires to be governed. Bias and discrimination, that requires to be controlled. That if any there is any bias towards favoring any trade practices or towards changing the opinion of masses, that is also a bias and discrimination that requires to be controlled adequately. Manipulation and misinformation of any kind of important information, that is also there. And probably you all would have realized that a lot of media reports are also coming saying that, "Ki, this is a fake news, fake news, fake news." So that can also be altered, and there is a generative AI people are using in order to change, in order to come up with the video and audio. So all those things. Now again, should we stop the technology or should we go ahead with the governance structure? So it was felt probably was by most of the people. I won't say that everyone agrees to that, but saying that the artificial intelligence management system called the 42001 framework or standard, if adopted, probably that can reduce the risk, whatever it is. So ways to make AI application more ethical, develop transparent algorithms. Now, this is where it is. Algorithm, mostly people get it protected or there is a IPR or copyright associated with that. So if they come up with a transparent algorithm, that's something which may be beneficial for, but then there would be certain other legal and statutory regulatory challenges also. Then implement ethical AI frameworks like 42001. That will be ethical AI framework that can be adopted, and adherence to standard like ISO 42001. That is going to be there. So now, I mean, this was high level at part of artificial intelligence management system. Okay. Now let's take an example. We are taking a scenario that your team is tasked with building an AI to recommend product to users. Building an AI to recommend product to user. For example, you have to recommend that what is the best medicine for fever. So objective, develop a checklist to ensure that the AI adheres to ethical principles. Focus on areas like fairness, transparency, and non-bias. Anyone who can suggest? Hmm. Okay, there was one question that what is the difference between bias and ethical concern? Ethical bias is something which is like we are favoring someone, but ethical is more towards adopting the cultural needs. Right. So something is bias is definitely not correct, but something ethical may be correct for certain scenario, may not be correct for certain scenario. That will be the bias and ethical concern. I'm just answering some of the question what it is there. Which are most widely used AI security testing tools for or frameworks? They are mostly same. They are mostly same as it is for any information security things. But the only point that requires little more detail is the algorithm part and machine learning part, which is still evolving at this point of time. Answering the slide part, I am leaving it up to Khushi to decide onto that part. Right? She introduced me. Okay. Okay. So that's what. So let's talk about anyone who would like to put across some comment saying that what should be the ethical requirement. Uh, Larry, you know the policy is required. Yes, policies are required. Policies are required from ethical perspective, from biasness perspective, from planning perspective, from risk assessment perspective, from impact assessment. Impact, that means the kind of impact it can have on society. That is also there. So that is the policies are required. Okay, there was one question that please provide overview of AIMS standard. AIMS is basically artificial intelligence management system, that is the 42001. It is divided into 10 clauses, right from 4 to 10. Starting the 4 is that I mean, understanding the needs and expectation of the interested party. That's how it is. And then followed by the planning, followed by the risk and impact assessment, that is the operational control. Then there is a auditing, that organization must have implemented the system in order to audit that one. Continuous improvement. And the important point is that 11 control, the controls which is recommended by the artificial intelligence management system, that is very, very important. So that control, if applicable, that will have to be demonstrated as a policy and as a implementation also. Okay. So that is further detailing. I would say that AIMS related further detailing. Probably uh, we are organizing a lead auditor training into this area, so that further detailing can be obtained from there. Overview. Okay, how do a risk assessment of AI based development system? AI based development system, again, first we need to understand that what is the context of the organization, what is that artificial intelligence is trying to do. Okay, and then accordingly risk assessment will be carried out. Risk assessment will be into multiple areas. There would be technological areas, process areas, people related areas, ethical areas. That kind of a risk assessment that will have to be carried out in all the areas. Okay, how the releases are being made, how the configuration and version controls are being carried out. That's a risk assessment. Okay, is any organization certified in ISO 42001 as of now? Yes, there are multiple organizations who are certified for 42001, but I can't give them name unless until they decide to do so. So that's the reason there are multiple organizations who are certified. Not only organization, but even a lot of people they are going in for this training. There are multiple organizations who are certified for 42001. Uh, so I hope I answered the risk assessment. Code review of model and its parameter. Code review of model. See, model is a statistics. Code is driven and developed around that statistics and correlation and regressions. And there are multiple other statistical factor which is associated with that one. Code review can be done, and code review needs to be done from both functional and non-functional perspective. When functional, I am saying that means the it should be giving the accurate and correct result based on the data. But important point is the data also. So it is a cyclic process where you keep on improving the data and keep on improving the algorithm, and then keep on improving the code, so that version control can be established and it can be improved to the maximum accuracy, because we need to replace human being using these practices. So in that case it requires to be continuously evaluated and improved. Code review, feature collection, and ethical review. Probably I didn't understand what exactly is the question. Inventory of any existing system. That we can have all these answers into the lead auditor training in a planned in next month. There bias detection. Bias detection is something which requires adequate process to be put in place within the organization. because we have seen the organization just for a few hours of delay have resulted in situation like a lot of wrong or biased results are being displayed by the artificial intelligence management system. So we need to take care of that, and that requires adequate system establishment, understanding the application, understanding the stakeholders, understanding the legal implication, regulatory implications, data correctness, from where the data is being collected. So there are multiple parameters that can be implemented in order to understand the bias detection. Privacy also has become very important to ensure that we don't have any PII data or medical information leakage. Yes, PII is always a very, very important point, no doubt about that. And but not only PII data related to medical, but even our interest, what we are looking for, what we are searching in Google, what we are seeing in Facebook. So there are all those things are if attributed or name. But important point is that we need to understand the PII, that is called the personally identifiable information. So if anything linked together, for example, your no, your name, your mobile number, and your interest area, then it will become a PII. Individual alone may not be, and that's where the artificial intelligence management system, they are taking the data without identifying the individuals in most of the cases. So that's where the probably I would say that law enforcement agency and regulatory body probably they need to think of that how it needs to be governed. But the point is that PI removing your name and identification marks is no longer a PI for any situation. So that's where the PII data for medical information leakage that important, but then organizations are taking care of that by removing the personally identifiable part. Okay, so Nitish Kumar, that is business impact assessment will also work as an impact assessment? No. Business impact assessment, and if the sole business of organization is only artificial intelligence, then yes, then business impact assessment will work. If it is not, in that case, it will not work. So there will be a separate impact assessment that needs to be carried out. Business impact, artificial intelligence may be one of the solution. So in that case, business impact may not see it. Second part that we need to see that stakeholder, who all are various stakeholder, which are there, and how impact it is going to have onto the wider society and social situations. So I would say for now that business impact assessment and AI impact assessment, both of them would be separate, assuming that organization is not into only one business of one solution of artificial intelligence. Soumya Banerjee, caution during selection of data set to train the system. Yes, very important point that if data is wrong, then entire prediction would be wrong, entire exploration would be wrong. So in that case, there has to be completely caution. List of regulatory requirement, list of business requirement. This depends upon geography, geo factors, the country, the law of land. So there are multiple. So you need to be very specific that which particular country and which particular scenario you are looking for. So we can have these details in our subsequent training sessions on that one. Then next one is a list of regular list of business requirement. List of business requirement is again business specific. The use case what you are adopting for the organization, the use case what you are adopting for the organization, and the artificial intelligence solution. So I would say that business requirement is something which is organization specific. Regulatory requirements, yes, that can be discussed and shared in a situation. I mean, once there is adequate input like the application area, what is the output which you are targeting for, what is the coverage, which particular country this AI system would be operating on. So there are multiple factors. That's something which needs to be shown. CIA, yes, list of regulatory requirement, list of business requirement, mapping of applicable controls ensures CIA of the data which is ingested into the AI module. See, CIA is more referred into the 27001 confidentiality, integrity, and availability. That is definitely one of the factor. But here, that's the reason this standard had two part. In 27001, there was only risk assessment. But here there is a risk and also impact assessment, and there are different clauses to it. So that means it is not only limited to CIA, but it is much more, especially when you refer to the impact assessment. So that would be related to that one. And Nivanta, okay. 27,001 clauses is not something mandatory, I would say, unless until you are going for information security certification as well, right? Information security certification also. So 27,001 clauses and controls are not mandatory, but however, organization can wish to adopt. And do remember in any of the control, whether it is a privacy management system or information security management system or artificial intelligence management system or any other, right? There you need to understand that the control are suggested part. If you want to add controls, fine, you can add the controls. If you want them to be made not applicable with adequate justification, you can do so that also. Okay, those controls you mentioned. Okay, I can share the standards. So if but just give me a second, I will have to stop the screen sharing for a moment. I hope it is okay by all. Sorry, I should have kept it right at the beginning. Okay. Opening it now. Just a second. Yes. Now I can see that one present. I hope it is visible. So these are the control which is recommended by the standards. You can see that policy related to AI. That means the AI policy. That is the important point. All the policy related to AI should be there. AI policy alignment with the other organizational policies, review of the AI policy. Then internal organization, there are certain AI roles, responsibility, reporting of concerns. These further detailings can be understood in more detail into a detailed training. Then resources for AI system, that resource documentation, data source resources, tooling resources, what kind of a tooling would be required from AI perspective, human resources, system and computing resources. Now, important point here to understand is the assessing impacts of AI system. AI system impact assessment that shall establish a process to assess the potential consequences for individuals or groups of individuals or both. That is a requirement, that is a control. Documentation of AI system impact assessment. Organization also needs to demonstrate these controls related to AI system lifecycle, objective for responsible development of AI system, processing for responsible AI system, and AI system requirement and specification. That is the AI system lifecycle. There are certain controls on that. Data for AI system. There is a separate control associated with the data for AI system. Acquisition of data, how the data provenance would be done. Provenance means that you need to link it with the source from where the data is being taken. That needs to be established and demonstrated to auditor as a part of artificial intelligence management system. So that is there, data preparation, then information for interested parties of AI system. You have certain obligation that is required to be demonstrated, then use of AI system, how the uses of the AI system would be carried out, third party and customer relationship. There are controls associated with that one. So this is what at high level. Okay. This is what at high level which is required. So that is clauses. Could you please explain those controls you mentioned? I hope this is addressed. These are the control. There are long list of controls, so in that case, it will be too short time to explain all those things. But I just shared with you all these controls. Hope that is fulfilling the query what you had asked for. Right. These are the further detailings, references, control, and objectives. You will also see that these are the clauses. Mm. There are multiple other situations like leadership, planning, support, operations. You can see the AI risk assessment and risk treatment, impact assessment, performance evaluation, and improvement. They are other things. Okay. Um, Coming back on this particular point, that anyone who would like to mention that what would be the scenario? What would be the scenario? For example, this organization, AI recommended products. So in that case, probably you need to see that one in more detail. Okay. Privacy control and societal impact of data model supplied requires to be validated for ethical. Yes, definitely. Raisuddin, Mr. Raisuddin. Yes, definitely it is very much required. It is very much required. Privacy controls and societal impact. However, I mean, probably we all have seen that organization to whom we are taking any application services or anything, there is a mandatory clause nowadays that you need to give your consent, and there is a dilution of entire privacy management system once we are giving our consent while using that application. So that's where the challenge is, that consent is mandatory nowadays. So that's something which I would say that that depends upon the law enforcement agencies and governance and multiple other laws that requires to be Mr. Vinod Kumar, that do you provide training for AMS? Yes, we do provide. We do provide training on artificial intelligence management system, lead auditor for 2001. That is very much, and there are multiple session almost every month they go on. So you can discuss with the respective team members. If needed, you can send uh, to other things, and it would be there. Uh, how do we determine if an organization should get ISO 42001 certification? If they are, into anything related to artificial intelligence management system, either they are getting it developed by someone else, or they are developing it themselves, or they are they are developing it for someone else. In that case, ISO 42001 would be required. NIST AI framework is also good, but however, as far as this is an international standard, and NIST is more popular into US. So if you have any business related to US, you should definitely go for the NIST AI framework as well. Can we use ISO 42001 as AI readiness assessment? Uh, it requires more clarity that what do you mean by AI readiness assessment? Because AI life cycle that needs to be seen first. And AI life cycle requires validation. 42001 is for AI management system, that artificial intelligence management system. Right. ISO 27, the lead auditor is mandatory if someone is planning for 42001 lead auditor. No, it is not mandatory. Interoperable with other standard? Yes, it is interoperable with all other standards. Do we have a documented AI governance policy for our physical security system, and who is accountable? Probably I couldn't understand the exact question. Do we have a documented AI governance policy for our physical security system? See, wherever you are using any artificial intelligence management system, we have a policy associated with that one. So is there a readiness assessment that you can share? I can't share any other organization's detail, but definitely it can be discussed separately with our team concern. There is AI integration everywhere. AIMS leads to our auditor training can be helping hand for all of us to check. Sure, yes, it will be. At which stage of SDLC should AI specific considerations such as data collection, model training, and validation be integrated? At which particular stage of SDLC should AI specific considerations such as data collection, model? It is all across. So there is a AI life cycle which is separate than the software development life cycle. AI life cycle, software development is one part of AI life cycle. So in that case, you need to think from a AI life cycle perspective, not the SDLC. because there is a data life cycle as well. There is a application life cycle. There is algorithm model life cycle. So there are multiple life cycle and all together merge into one. That would be artificial intelligence life cycle, artificial intelligence development life cycle. Sharing the slide, I would leave it for Khushi to answer. Sometimes consent to share PII data is made mandatory. Not sometimes, most of the time, all the time, probably I would say, unless until there are certain things. So that's the weakness of the system and standard, that consent is being made mandatory so that it can be defended into legal legal situations, right? So it's not sometime, but all the time, I would say, in 99% of the scenarios and say. Why PI is needed to avail? Isn't this unfair practice? I won't comment fair or unfair because it depends upon various factors like ethics, bias, and law of land. So, it would not be fair to comment whether something is unfair or fair, because there are multiple factors which governs them. So what should be prerequisite for this? There is no prerequisite as long as you have adequate knowledge into IT system. You would be able to do that one. Okay, so this is how I would say that you do this exercise for yourself. Let us know in case you have any challenges. I'm just giving across another exercise, that ethical problem solving, that an AI detects fraudulent activity in online transaction but often flags legitimate customer by mistake. Should the company prioritize catching fraud or protecting users' experience? That is how it is. Did you find this when testing? Khushi, probably I would hand it over to you if you are there. Hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, with respect to the slide sharing part, I will definitely assist you guys. You can just directly ping me on the LinkedIn. I will share the slides with you. And another question was, what's the prerequisite one?
Prerequisite for this certification, AIMS
Okay, so,
certificate.
okay, so there is no as such prerequisite for doing it since it's a new standard launched last year only. So there is no as such prerequisite that you have to fulfill and then you can do it. So you can easily do it. So if you have any other questions, you can just drop a text on the LinkedIn and we will take it up from there. So meanwhile, thank you everyone for such an amazing response and a warm thanks for everyone who helped this webinar to become a tremendous success. And a special thanks goes to Sanjeev sir for delivering such a thought-provoking and engaging session. Your expertise made the world of AI clear and engaging for all of us. And to our wonderful audience, thank you for staying with us throughout the session. And we hope it left you informed about AI. And in case if you would like to learn more about AI, if you have any questions or wish to take next step towards your AI certification, we have just dropped a form link on the comment section. You can just fill it out and we will reach out to you regarding this. So once again, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, everyone, for your
Thank
time and your
you.
enthusiasm.
Thanks a lot. Hmm.
Hello, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for your time,
Thank
sir.
you. Okay, is it done now? It's complete, huh?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Hmm. Fine, it's on time, right? I thought probably otherwise it could have extended more. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. People were starting engaging on the comment section.
Yes. But they didn't do that exercise, but rather they were preferring more on question and answer.
Yes, they were more interested in like questions.
Yes. I think still there are questions which are coming.
Yes, few are
Comments.
still texting. Only one question is there. Rest are thanks messages.
Mhm. So should I leave now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No worries. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Kushi.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.